Hi, travelers. Guess what? Here's another open reading. I was set up to do some my 20 for 20 video special readings for some clients, and my guide came in and said that I needed to post an open reading using the Sibilas. So I'm going to do a 15 card Sibila spread. I have already pre-shuffled them. So I'm just going to lay the cards. This is a short reading. Let's get that going and get a little bit of incense across the table. Today is the last day that you can take advantage of the one question video reading. It is 25 minutes for $25. Those are great because you get an opportunity to download the video and keep it for yourself. That sale ends tomorrow night at midnight. It will not be back until sometime next year. Let's see what else. There will be no angel answer cards pulled on this. This is just going to be a straight cold reading. Let me as I said, I've already shuffled the cards, so I'm just going to lay them. See if I can. They're hard to see. They're little bitty cards, so let's see. Oh. Wow. Wow. Okay. Let me show you the cards. On the top row, from left to right, Fortuna, Mercante, Speranza, Sacerdote, Gran Consolazione, Giovani Fanciulla, La Vecchia Signora, Limineo, Falsità, L'Amante Female, Presente de Pietre Preziose, the Precious Presence, the Casa, Il Vedovo, Dottore, and La Nemica. Well, our focus card in the center is the Limineo. Marriages, commitments, bonds, institutions. It also speaks to the spiritual and passionate nature of the relationship. Now, let me just tell you the story. What it appears to me is that for some of you, some kind of luck or the wheel has turned for you. And what I'm looking at is the Fortuna Mercante. Something auspicious or something good has happened to you. And this is definitely a male at the top. Perhaps this is the meeting of someone, a male, and going into, or there have been negotiations about going into relationship or going into partnership with each other. We have the Speranza, the hope card, and we're hoping with all of our faith and everything that we have here with the Sacerdote, that this is going to be a very pleasant. It's almost as if the cards are saying, you know, we met, we discussed, our hopes are high. I have true faith that this is really going to turn out very well. The second line, Giovani Fanciulla, starts with the Giovani Fanciulla. Giovani Fanciulla is attraction to a young woman, but it also can sometimes speak to a new female, all right? one who has no previous attachments to this male. And then we have La Vecchia Senora. We have an older woman, but she's playing the role of the confidant. Then we have the Limoneo, then we have the Falsità, then we have the L'amante female lover. This line to me tells me that you, the new woman, perhaps have been confiding in other people, old friends, even perhaps your mom or a relative, about this new relationship. Perhaps this Limoneo is even with the Mercante coming up, because sometimes here the line, Sacerdote, Limoneo, de Casa, this speaks to a marriage, okay? He's a priest, okay? So perhaps an engagement and moving in together with someone. And so you've been discussing these plans with someone about this relationship. However, perhaps unbeknownst to you, there is another woman in this picture. Falsità, l'amante, lover. I sense for some of you that this, this l'amante lover can also be someone who's rather new, but she can also be someone who is a old friend of this particular male. Here's the third line. Well, I get the house, I get to move in with him, or at least the promise of moving in together. But then we see the vedovo. We see that the man is lamenting that. He's tied to his past. He's mourning the loss of something previous. Here's the Dottore. Now the Dottore, this may give us an idea of perhaps maybe his profession, that maybe he is a doctor or a lawyer or a counselor, a professional man. But we also see that in the concept that the Dottore is someone who nurtures or helps or who cares. We see that he's receiving help from this l'animica. Now, I do feel that this l'amante l'animica is the same person. And she herself has had plans, grand plans of happiness. Yes. Now, on the off chances this is about you in a marriage, I feel that, or a committed relationship, that perhaps you had reached the stage in the relationship where things were getting better. Perhaps you were feeling like a new woman, that the conversations or the actual opening up and speaking to each other about whatever the problems were. Why do I say that? Here, the sacerdote is also a counselor or a priest. He speaks to confidences here, but then suddenly this deception shows up, or this lie, or the hidden intention shows up here with this l'amante female. We see that she herself feels that there is something auspicious. The precious presence, presente preciosa, is a gift not unselfish. So what this tells me is that she's offering him something as well. And I feel that no matter whether you are already in a relationship, a committed partnership, and or a marriage, or if this is about you meeting someone else, to me, the Mercante is the card of the person trying to make the choice. You see, in one respect, he has his back here to the Fortuna. So he's taking this opportunity to run with it. And perhaps here with the Speranza, he really is hoping that things are going to go well and he can keep things hidden. Why do I say that? Look at the Sacerdote. He's wearing this huge, heavy cloak. Now, 13th century priests, they had wives, they had mistresses, they had children, they had vices. So this could also be someone, a single man. It could also be someone who hides things, but they do it in such a way that it appears that they have no guile, right? In other words, you believe everything that they're telling you. And so far, he's gotten away with it. Yeah? I do feel for some of you this will be coming to light, this revelation. Some of you already know about this particular situation, about this other woman in the picture here, and that is your fear. You're not exactly sure. Your intuition is telling you that, yeah, maybe so. I mean, you're basically going on the word of what this person is telling you. But I do sense that for many of you, this is really the idea that you have a suspicion. This is your fear. You fear that he's lying about having another female in the picture. Speranza. Remember, it's not only hope, it's also fear. You hope that through conversations and the fact that you guys have been able to before be honest and upfront and tell each other everything, that this offer of trying to come back together to work out the problems is going to be enough. I dare say it may not be. For some of you, Fortuna la vecchia signora de Vedovo, for some of you, the Fortuna is the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. And it talks about the changing of things. The wheel has turned. So for some of you, if this is about you've been in a relationship where you suspect someone's been cheating and or they have been cheating, well, Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune, has turned and it's offering you an opportunity to fix the situation, right? How do you fix it? Well, you're going to have to decide what you can and cannot put up with. You're going to have to decide what is a deal breaker. And if this is something you've been doing or you've been going through for quite some time, the question becomes, do I continue or do I change the situation? How do you change the situation? Well, for some of you, it looks as though this Lanamika is really bringing you a gift. And why do I say that? Because if he goes with her or she goes with him, but you were with them when they met, that means he's a cheater. And you can go to bed safe every night knowing that she's got a cheater. That's who she's lying next to. You no longer are lying next to him, but she is. And it has been my experience that people who cheat will tend to do so again. And once the trust of the relationship has been broken, it is very, very difficult to get it back. Now, if you're one of those people who decides that you want to forgive that person and take them back, you really have no space to throw that in their face every time you suspect something because you've agreed, okay? People can't do things to us that we don't allow them to do. And we don't make agreements with each other without having some kind of reciprocal benefit on the other end. So maybe for some of you, the reciprocal benefit is the fact that you get money and a house and you got the status. I also feel for some of you that you have been, in one respect, you know that this relationship is over. The person is making no bones about it. And he's trying to figure out a way to fix this situation. In one respect, the Landamika is also about resentment. Now you're becoming resentful of the fact that you know that this no longer is going to work and the person's not going to change or they have already made another choice. And so you're becoming resentful of it. Well, there's no need to become resentful because if you chose to accept that person back and you chose to stay, then you agreed to those particular terms. So why be resentful of the other person or the other woman? That was the agreement that you made. So this is also about fessing up, recognizing the truth and fessing up to your role. And if you are still in partnership and you've agreed to stay there, regardless of whether the person says, look, I don't even love you anymore. Yeah, I'm screwing so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And what are you going to do about it? Okay. But you say, oh, but, let me stay because I like the status or I like the things or I like the position that I'm in. But there's nothing else there. You're sleeping in separate bedrooms. Okay. And that could be what this is telling me. But even that is a lie. Even that is a lie. It's not going to help. This is not a situation in which the person will change their mind. Let me put it that way. And the person is really trying to figure out how to remedy or fix the situation. Now, if you're being stubborn and you don't want to let the person go because there's lots of property issues, then it's going to be up to you to figure out, to decide how to negotiate this situation. Maybe you need to go through a mediator. Okay. About the property here. Let me see. For others, someone is going to, I think, we see the Gran Consolazione. This is success achieved after a long time. But then we see here with the falsità that it's a false success. It's a hollow victory with the Vedovo. It's things being the way they were before. It's a hollow victory. But the Vedovo here says that, and I'm not assuming, I'm not picking up that this is about someone lamenting the way things were before in terms of the relationship between the two of you. This is about the person lamenting the way it was before you got together. Now, a lot of times what I will see with the La Vera Sibilis is when the La Nemica shows up, she is on her way out of the picture. But the question becomes, are you the La Nemica, or is this L'amante the La Nemica? No matter, the damage has already been done. I think this, for some of you, this is about you going into therapy to try to talk about the deception and the betrayal. But look, there she is. She's still there. She's going to be there for a while. She never goes away. Not really. Even if you decide to patch things up and you work this out, that La Nemica will always be there. She has been brought in through fate. So again, it's almost as if the cards are saying she's doing you a favor, you know. And what do I mean by that? Because she's allowing you the opportunity to really take a close look at what is lacking in your relationship, what is lacking within yourself that you would, you know, that you may decide to choose your self-respect and your dignity over something else. This is also, I think, the concept or the idea that she brought you a gift in the sense that you need to see how strong you are. Can you be independent? Can you break away from this? How do you handle conflict and anger, cheating and sharing? Again, this line down the center speaks volumes. Speranza Lemoneo Vedovo. Many of you hope that this other female, that relationship's going to end. Others of you fear the fact that your relationship is going to end because that relationship's not going to end. It's really a complicated situation. Let me pull the cards up, and I've got time to put one more thing down. For those of you who are website members, if you remember back some months ago, and I was talking about those transits across the sign of Cancer and then transits across the sign of Leo, and how September was going to be full of complicated relationships. As we know, there's no timing per se, and so this could be something that started way back in May or June, and it is just now kind of bringing itself to a head. Because maybe some of you have been waiting around hoping the situation's going to change. Now, I'm going to pull 9 cards. get a good shuffle on these. I would dare say that for those of you who have that sneaky suspicion, but you don't have the proof, to trust what your intuition is telling you. Ah, the Superbia has come out. Now that is an interesting card. The reason why, it's the peacock. Now, several things about the peacock. First of all, the peacocks represent males. Why? Because in the avian world, the male birds are more colorful than the female birds, right? That is the principle of attraction. Peacocks are beautiful birds. They're kind of mean birds. They are noisy birds and they attract a lot of attention. So this card could be about someone who's prideful or arrogant or boastful, and who's quite vain. Now, the peacock is the symbol of Juno. Juno was the wife of Jupiter. Jupiter had lots of affairs and he even had children outside of the marriage. Juno was very vengeful. She tried to, she put curses and hexes and tricked Jupiter's lovers, but Jupiter never stopped. He continued on doing whatever he was doing. But yet, Juno liked the position of being the wife of the king of gods. Therefore, she never left him. She simply accepted it. For you guys who don't know the asteroid astrology that I'm trying to teach you, you really need to get that transit tutorial and read the book. I'm going to be putting up some videos over the holiday season to try to better explain to you how this works, because it's really synchronicity at play. You just have to know what you're looking at. That's why I'm here to help you. The Allegrezza al Cuore. The Messaggere. The Bambino. La Conversazione. Belvedere. The Malinconia. The Dilettanti. And the Militare. Yes, well, many of you are Superbia. This is someone who I think holds a particular a fascination for you. Let me put it this way. The person makes you very happy. Allegrezza al Cuore. This is the happiness of the heart. The Sibilla makes two distinctions between happiness of the heart. This is our personal happiness. Under the bottom is the family and friends happiness, right? And what we see is this message coming. This is a message from far away. So this could be about you've heard some news from someone, makes you very, very happy, or the news has come in and you're celebrating it. And what it is an opportunity. The news is an opportunity to have new conversations. And you're looking ahead. You're looking forward to that. But I dare say, Malinconia dilerante militare, that the conversations are not going to be the way that you think they are. This is I think the person is going to contact you to say that they are indeed moving on. Why? Well, they've been caught, for one thing. And I don't want any of you to be caught unawares in terms of thinking that this is what do you call it? The answer to your prayers. We go from Allegrezza al Cuore, la conversazione. This is pleasant conversations. I'm so happy that we're talking again. Dilerante, stupid actions, stupid behaviors. Why? Because the situation is not going to play out the way that you think it will. Okay, that's been a recurring theme coming up in a lot of the readings that I've been doing for clients. Um, I think if I had to just take a stab in the dark at what the underlying true message is to temper your expectations. This is an opportunity, most definitely. We see la superbia bambino malinconia. We see that the pridefulness or the arrogance of the person, or the attractiveness of the person still holds a newness for us, but it also makes us very sad and very depressed. Malinconia. I do think that for many of you, you're finally going to belvedere, great foresight and planning. You're going to see the writing on the wall. And even though this may make you sad, some of you may still go back and have that conversation. And then you're going to be like, why the hell am I even sad and depressed about this clown? Why? He was a damn cheater. I caught him. But it's something you're going to have to work through. Okay. Now, again, this could be same-sex and or heterosexual, whomever's going to take the role of the male and or the female. But it tells me that if you come from a position of, I don't know, boastfulness or pridefulness or vanity, it's not going to play well. So to me, this is the great foresight and planning. This is the what if scenario, right? And being able to kind of, what's the word? Anticipate what the truth of the matter is. And how do you do that? You lower your expectations about what's going on. Okay? Have no expectations. That's a very difficult thing to do in affairs of the heart. But we see the message from far away comes in. Message from far away. You know, I want to talk to you, you know. But we do get a sense that whatever this conversation is about, it's not going to play well for us. We will be hopeful. We will try to uphold our whatever the case may be. But we see it, melancolia delirante militare, that does not bode well. So that's what I have for you. Of course, you know, only you can choose to react or act in whatever manner. You can only control yourself. Don't forget, today's the last day. So for the $25 reading, and then I'm going to be going silent, and I've got a lot of changes coming up to the website on the other side of the new year. So I hope those messages helped. Until next time, namaste.